Na umaga po kay Congresswoman Jervil Wistro ng Batangas, ikalawang distrito po ng Batangas sa chairperson ng House Committee on Justice. Kong, magandang umaga po sa inyo.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Alvin and Doris. Salamat sa muli niyong pag-imbita dito sa ating programa.
Opo, ano muna yung mga dapat nating tandaan moving forward? May mga dates tayo na dapat tandaan. Di ba sa Miyerkules yung resumption ng hearing po ninyo sa impeachment?
That is correct, Alvin, no? Magtutuloy ang ating pagdinig or hearing proper ngayong darating na Wednesday. That is April 22. Mag-uumpisa tayo ng 10 o'clock in the morning at maaalala nyo, sinabina natin ang AMLA as well as Senator Sonny Trillanes. And in addition to these resource persons ay ngayong darating ding Wednesday, masasalang naman itong Ombudsman, BIR at SEC. No? So we are anticipating at least 5 resource persons for our hearing this coming Wednesday. Alvin.
Yung Madriaga po ba ay muling mag-a-appear sa Wednesday o hindi na po?
Well, we did not provide him any invitation or subpoena. At kung muli ba nating ibabalik si Madriaga, that will depend on the decision of the majority of the members. As of now, wala naman tayong naririnig na request from the justice members na muling imbitahan si Ramil Madriaga.
Ayun.
Opo,
Yung kay Senador Trillanes po, kailangan bang bitbitin na niya yung mga sinasabi niyang dokumento?
I understand that the subpoena that was issued to Senator Trillanes is both ad testificandum para sa presence niya at saka duces tecum for him to produce whatever documents he has in line with the allegations in the impeachment complaint. So yes, Doris, no? So kung merong affidavit si Senator, ito ay ina-anticipate din natin na iprepresenta niya before the Justice Committee this Wednesday.
Congresswoman, ano po yung essence ng mga inimbita ninyo this Wednesday? Ano yung isisiwalat nila? At ano ang kahalagahan noon sa impeachment proceedings laban sa pangalawang Pangulo?
Etong mga resource persons na scheduled on Wednesday, Alvin, if you will observe, sila ay relevant pagdating dun sa allegations ng unexplained wealth and non-disclosure in the SALN, which constitute betrayal of public trust, no? So, nandyan si Ombudsman with regards to the SALN of the Vice President. Darating si Senator Trillanes with regards to the allegation of unexplained wealth. Andyan si AMLA. At ito naman, narinig nyo during the last hearing, we are requiring the AMLA to produce reports on covered transaction and suspicious transaction of both the Vice President and the husband. No? Darating si BIR with respect to the general information sheets and the audited financial statements of the business establishments declared by the spouses. And of course, what did I say, BIR? Ang BIR pala with respect to ITR, income tax return, no, of the spouses. Tapos itong SEC, GIS, and audited financial statements of their declared business establishments, no? So kung ma-observe nyo, Doris, Alvin, no, lahat ng kanilang documents has relevance dun sa allegations ng unexplained wealth and non-disclosure in the SALN, which will be the focus of our clarificatory hearing this coming Wednesday.
So
Pero,
yung mga impormasyon na makakalkal o ma-expose, ano
Yan.
po, anong gagawin natin dyan sa mga impormasyon na yan kung hindi yan kasali doon sa mga kasi apart na ng impeachment complaint, may ano yan may border yan hanggang diyan ka lang hanggang dito ka lang
Ito yung articles
paano pag may maibulgar diyan ng mga impormasyon na hindi makakabuti sa personality o sa trabaho ng pangalawang Pangulo, paanong turing nun sa mga ganyang impormasyon?
Ang perspective natin dyan, Alvin, no, we are conducting this clarificatory hearing to test if the allegations in the complaint and the attached documents constitute already probable cause, no? So, binigyan tayo ng kapangyarihan, we call it compulsory process, mag-issue ng subpoena ad testificandum and subpoena duces tecum. Indeed, to check yung bang mga allegasyon sa complaint ay may basehan. Yun bang allegasyon sa complaint kasama yung mga naka-attach na evidence ay sapat to say that there is probable cause. And by probable cause, it means justification for us to proceed to trial, no?
Opo, opo.
So, gusto ko ring liwanagin na maliwanag sa rules of impeachment ng House of Representatives, quote-unquote, other relevant evidence, no? Which means that even if it is not specifically mentioned in the impeachment complaint, if it has relevance to the allegations in the complaint, that can be considered also for the purpose of determining probable cause, no? Say for example, etong ITR, which we anticipate will be produced by the Bureau of Internal Revenue, the income tax return. Notwithstanding the fact na hindi siya nabanggit sa impeachment complaint, of course, we understand that this is relevant for us to be able to determine kung yun bang declared income or other income of the impeachable official ay justified ng kanyang sources.
Oo,
no?
oo.
Siyempre, may mga declared sources ng impeachable official. Based ba doon sa income ng kanyang declared sources, proportionate ba itong na-generate niyang income? That's why
Ayun.
it is incumbent upon us to check the income tax return, the audited financial statement, the general information sheet, and even the SALN of the Vice President.
Opo.
No?
Saan po
Yes, Doris.
pwedeng tumakbo pa si VP Sara para mapigilan po ang paglalabas ng mga dokumento na ito? Magkikita-kita na naman ba sa Supreme Court?
Of course, our final arbiter is no less than the Honorable Supreme Court. To answer your question, Doris, kung meron silang nakikitang questionable sa actions ng Justice Committee, the proper forum will be the Honorable Supreme Court. At matatandaan natin, Doris, 3 na yung pending doon na petitions.
Opo.
Paapat, itong nasa Regional Trial Court of Quezon City at itong nasa Quezon City, talaga ang purpose nito is to prevent the production of documents by the BIR. No? But of course, submitted na sa atin ito during the last hearing, although ngayong darating na Wednesday pa lang magprepresenta ang complainant or ang endorser with respect to our BIR commissioner and the documents that he submitted to the Justice Committee.
Okay.
Ayun.
I
Teka
want-
lang, isa na
sige,
lang.
go.
Paano kung talagang paninindigan niya? Hindi ko talaga ilalabas itong mga hinihingi ninyo.
Sino?
Si VP Sara. Yung mga lahat ng hinihingi ninyo,
Oo.
pipigilan. Yung sa akin, pipigilan ko.
Kasi may ibang
Ayaw-
source partner eh. Kagaya yung SALN, hindi lang may kopya ng
Ayun
SALN
na nga.
eh.
Oo, pero sasabihin ko na, hindi po pwede. Hihiyaw na naman siya na hindi pwedeng ilabas ng AMLA, hindi pwedeng ilabas ng BIR. Kasi ako ito eh.
Oo.
Oh, pwede ba yun, ma'am?
I think, Doris, that is the spirit behind the grant of compulsory process to the Justice Committee. Na notwithstanding the position of the concerned impeachable official, no, the Justice Committee actually has the power to compel the production of these documents, no? That is notwithstanding the position of the concerned impeachable official. Na kahit ayaw nung concerned impeachable official, may kapangyarihan ng Justice Committee na i-compel by way of compulsory process, by way of subpoena duces tecum, the production of documents like SALN, ITR, the AMLA report, the audited financial statement, documents which we anticipate to to be presented this coming Wednesday.
Ayun.
One final question.
Oo.
I wonder what you say dun sa mga nagsasabi, Congresswoman, na parang pinapahiya nyo ang pangalawang Pangulo. Wala pa yung trial, hindi at kinakalkal ninyo ang mga bagay na makasasama at parang kukondisyonin ang isip ng taong bayan na talagang ka-impeach itong ikalawang Pangulo dahil ang dami niyang hindi na bubulgar ng
At
mga
hindi na
bagay na
ipapaliwanag.
impeachable.
Oo.
Go ahead.
Definitely, that is not the intention, Alvin, no? Klarong-klaro to sa rules. Now, we are mandated to determine the existence of probable cause. In doing so, we are authorized to conduct this hearing proper / clarificatory hearing. And in doing so as well, we were authorized to exercise this compulsory process such as the issuance of subpoena duces tecum and subpoena ad testificandum. Sa lahat po ng sambayan ng Pilipino, ito pong aming ginagawang ito ay hindi pagpapahiya sa ating Vice Presidente. Ito po'y bahagi ng impeachment process. Kami po ay may trabahong i-determine kung may sapat na dahilan upang umusad ang impeachment process. Kaya kailangan po naming mag-conduct ng clarificatory hearing, no? We need to see if the allegations in the complaint and the attached evidence are sufficient already to constitute probable cause. Kung may probable cause po, ididiretso po natin to sa plenaryo kung saan pagdedebatehan. At kung sasang-ayunan po ng plenaryo ang desisyon ng Justice Committee, ito po itra-transmit sa Senado para magkaroon ng trial. Otherwise, kung sa paningin po ng justice members ay walang sapat na dahilan, sa Justice Committee pa lamang po, i-dismiss na po ito. At ito pong dismissal na ito ay aming i-recommenda sa plenaryo upang kanilang pag-aralan kung tama o hindi ang naging pasya namin, and whatever will be the decision of the plenary. Kung i-affirm nila yung dismissal, di final na po iyon. At kung i-reverse naman po nila kami, ibig sabihin, matra-transmit pa rin po ito sa Senate for trial, no? Ito po
Okay.
yung tinatawag nating accountability mechanism, which is innate in a democratic form of government. Ang very famous na sabihin about democratic form of government is a government of the people, by the people, and for the people, no? At ito po ang kapangyarihan ng taong bayan to check on this impeachable official if they committed impeachable offenses, and if so, may kapangyarihan ang taong bayan tanggalin at ipagbawal ang patuloy na pagtanggap ng posisyon sa gobyerno.
Thank you, ma'am.
Alvin.
Maraming salamat
Maraming
po, ma'am, sa
salamat,
oras
ma'am.
niyo. Mabuhay po kayo.
Thank you, good morning. Most especially sa aking mga kababayan from Batangas 2nd District. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Ala
Thank you.
A.
Ala A. Thank you.
Ala A.
Maraming salamat.